Let's move to other discussions this morning. President Bola Tinubu has signed into law bills creating two new regional development commissions. The bills are the Northwest Development Commission, NWDC, sponsored by the Deputy Senate President Jibrin Baro, and the Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, sponsored by Deputy Speaker Ben Kalu. A statement by the President yesterday explained that the Northwest Development Commission is set up to facilitate the reconstruction of roads, houses, and business premises destroyed by multi-dimensional crisis, as well as tackle poverty, illiteracy level, ecological problems, and other related environmental or development challenges in Northwest states.
Now, in addition, the Southeast Development Commission is established to ensure the reconstruction and rehabilitation of roads, houses, and other infrastructural damages suffered by the zone, as well as tackle ecological problems and other related environmental or developmental challenges in Southeast states as well. Joining us now is former Minister of Youth and Sports and Human Rights activist Solomon Dalung. Also joining us is the founder of Igbo Global Network, Tony Nwisi. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to start with, Honorable Nwisi this morning. My first argument will be, or my first question will be centered around the idea that the reasons for the creation of these two development commissions, there are already ministries responsible for roads and housing and healthcare and every, type of infrastructure that you can imagine. There's ministries set aside for them already that are responsible. If we question, the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, the Enugu-Port Harcourt, whichever one that you want to mention, there's already ministries that are responsible for these ones. So what is the significance or the relevance of the Southeast Development Commission?
First of all, thank you, Sarah, again, for having me here. Thank you, Blessing. You guys are doing a fantastic job. There is a need for that because everybody in Nigeria knows that the Southeast has deliberately been marginalized by Nigeria since 1970. Mr. President's effort to bring this commission is a good idea, but as we say, the devil is in the detail and in the implementation. The Southeast has been compromised. It's a deliberate policy, unwritten policy by the Nigeria state to marginalize the Southeast, which is a complete nonsense. So there is a need for it. The Southeast requires its own seaport. There's no reason why the Southeast should not have a seaport. We can fund it ourselves. We don't need the federal government to fund it. The Southeast needs an international airport. We can fund it ourselves. We don't need the federal government to fund it. But the federal government has chosen to keep 68 items in the exclusive list, which doesn't make any sense. And those things are things that make for the development of a nation. Part of it is seaports and airports and all that kind of stuff. So there is a need for it. It will open up the Southeast and it will grow the GDP of Nigeria. It will create lots and lots of jobs, not just for the Southeast, but for the Southwest, for northern Nigeria, the whole country. The whole Nigerians know how enterprising the Igbo people are, the Southeast is. So there is a need for it.
Right. On paper, it sounds like a brilliant idea. And like you said, it will develop the Southeast, will open up the Southeast. But why then do you feel like the idea of marginalization simply disappears with the creation of the Southeast Development Commission? If you argue that the Southeast has been marginalized for so long, does this commission simply just roll over that marginalization and then bring development to the Southeast? That's one question. And then also, the idea of marginalized Southeast, it's not like we've not had proper representation of the Southeast in the National Assembly for so long. We have had Senate presidents from the Southeast, more than one, I believe. We've had Ayim Pius Ayim, who was, of course, in the news this morning also. We've had, Ike Ekweremadu, who was Deputy Senate President. So the Southeast has had proper representation in the National Assembly. So who then would you say marginalized the Southeast?
Well, to answer the first question, the commission doesn't remove the marginalization. It's simply a bandage on a wound. The marginalization is a function of Nigeria's constitution. And we all know what that's all about. So we will take every victory, we'll take every progress. So that takes care of the first question. The second question is this. Yes, these politicians you're talking about, yes, we'll have them. But Nigeria's problem is not at this tactical level. What Bola Tinubu is doing is tactical. The issue lies from the very root of Nigeria. 1914 amalgamation, we did not agree to that. There was no referendum, there was no plebiscite. The 1999 constitution, Nigerians were not consulted on it, Nigerians did not vote for it. It's actually Decree 24. It's a decree, is a paragraph of a decree. So the 68 items of the exclusive list is deliberately designed to marginalize the Southeast and indeed the whole of Southern Nigeria. And finally, what is the role of government? Number one role of government, Osaroge, is the protection of life and property. So everything else, if life and property is not secured, then we're joking. And the reason why life and property is not secured is because policing in Nigeria, in a country like Nigeria, is centralized in Abuja. The guy in Abuja is trying to police the Ogbomosho. The guy in Abuja, from Kaduna is trying to be commissioner in Ogbomosho. A guy from Ilorin is commissioner in Owerri. It doesn't make any sense. Why is policing centralized? Those 68 items in the exclusive list, these are the issues. The 1999 constitution, these are the strategic issues. And that's why Nigerians must continue to speak up. Until we deal with those major things, the small things will continue to be there. Now, you talk about politicians and representation. Yeah. Politicians are there. But, you and I know how the politicians work. They're all prostitutes. They work for the highest bidder. They're not necessarily representing their people. And that is why my message to Nigerians has always been, government is not made up of politicians alone. Government is made up of politicians and citizens. So citizens must continue to speak up to make sure government understands their responsibility. And if the government does not understand, citizens must do what they need to do to make sure government understand, make sure politicians understand.
Okay.
So without it, then you're slaves.
All right, but I would like to ask, having said all of this, because we know that this bill came up in the 9th Assembly, I guess, and at that time it didn't really get the backing or the support of the former administration. And a lot of people are making it seem as though this is just a clapback for the Buhari or to the Buhari administration. And yes, it's going to address some monumental changes, but do you think this is the political and economic reawakening that the entire country needs at the moment? Because let's face the truth, every region, every country, every state has its own peculiar challenges. The insecurity you talk about is not just peculiar to the Southeast. It's a global, it's a general nationwide problem. So is this the political reawakening or economic reawakening that the entire country needs at the moment?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Nigerians must understand that they are citizens and their sovereignty is in their hands. And the constitution that we have was not made by Nigerians. The federal government stole the sovereignty of Nigerians by virtue of that constitution. And Nigerians must make sure they are educated about their rights and they make the politicians understand you cannot steal our sovereignty. The Yoruba people have their own sovereignty. The same way with the Southeast people, the Igbo people, the Tiv people, the Hausa people, the Fulani people. Sovereignty rests with the citizens. And the 1999 constitution is at the crux of all our problems in Nigeria. It's a fraudulent constitution. It was not made by Nigerians. It does not help Nigerians at all. It is designed to make Nigerians slaves in their own country. And Nigerians must wake up to it. Even the name Nigeria, I can't even stand it because we did not give ourselves the name Nigeria. Nigeria was given to us by somebody called Frederick Lugard. So Nigeria means nigger area, slave area. And so Nigerians must begin to ask themselves questions and ask the politicians critical questions. And I agree. I couldn't agree more with Blessing. Nigeria needs an awakening, so that we can be the best we can be, and so we can work with the politicians to make better decisions for the benefit of all of us.
All right. So I'm going to go back to, again, questioning the relevance of the Southeast Development Commission. And also, I'm sure people from the Niger Delta would agree with me that the NDDC hasn't necessarily done or made a lot of difference or significant difference in the lives of the people of the Niger Delta. So what is your confidence that the Southeast Development Commission will transform the Southeast, much better than what the NDDC has done in the past? What's your confidence with the people currently responsible for the Southeast? And I'm talking about those who are elected leadership, both from state governorship to the National Assembly, every single one of them who currently represents the Southeast.
I have zero confidence in Nigerian politicians.
Okay.
Because they're not working for the benefit of Nigerians. And the blessing hit the nail on the head that the nation needs an awakening. And so my message to the Igbo people, the Nigerian youth, Nigerians is Nigeria is your country, Niger area as it were. Before we were forced into one country, you must take responsibility for it. You must hold your politicians accountable. If you do not hold them accountable, they will continue to prostitute themselves and sell Nigerians to the highest bidder. You can see what's going on in Kenya. There's an awakening in Kenya. That's why they're asking critical questions. The same way with Uganda. There's an awakening in Uganda. So Nigerian youth, I celebrate Nigerian youth actually, very dynamic. All over the world, they're successful all over the world. It's only in Nigeria that Nigerian youth are seen as lazy by General Buhari. I don't know what the heck he was talking about. But Nigerian youth that I know in the United States, in Europe, that have lived for many years, are very, very successful. Both Yoruba, Benin, Hausa,
yep.
All Nigerian youth I've met all over the world. They're in France, in Germany, in Ukraine,
sorry to jump in. So just because we're making the best use of our time. So if you don't have any faith in the Nigerian politicians, all of them.
Yes.
And with the very peculiar ways you've described them. Once again, why do you believe in the Southeast Development Commission, and why do you think that it would bring any change to the Southeast if you don't have any faith in the leadership?
We'll take every progress, Saroge. We'll take every progress. But every step forward helps us. There are millipedes, there are centimeters, millimeters instead of yards. So we'll take every progress, towards a better country. But the larger picture, the strategic picture, is that the nation belongs to all of us in that geographical expression called Nigeria or Niger area. And all of us must begin to take responsibility by holding politicians accountable. That's the larger message. As we hold politicians accountable, like in the United States here and in England, the same thing. As you hold them accountable, we make better decisions. As we make better decisions, you have a better country. Insecurity is solved. All of those problems are solved. So, you take every victory. So the devil is in the detail with what Tinubu is trying to do. The devil is in the detail and the implementation. So again, citizens must engage, and never ever trust any politician. That's my core message.
Okay.
They must engage.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't sound very very convincing. That this would necessarily bring any great development. Of course, kudos to Honorable Kalu, of course, for pushing this bill and eventually getting it signed. I'm sure people in the Southeast might or might not be happy about it, but there's been agitations in the Southeast long enough. Maybe not every person from the Southeast agrees with the agitation, but is this also something that might reduce the agitation around the Southeast?
Just like I said, Osaro, we will take every progress. Tinubu's effort in this direction is good. It's a good idea. But like I said, he's dealing at a tactical level. I am dealing at a strategic level. I look at matters at a strategic level. And at strategic level, what we need is what Blessing said. The country needs a major reawakening. We must have serious dialogue about what it means to be a citizen in that geographical space called Niger area. we must have a conversation.
All right, Honorable Nwisi.
Why is Nnamdi Kanu's freedom taken from him? Right? So life and liberty, freedom, what does it mean in Nigeria? I don't know. We must have serious dialogue about these things. We cannot sweep them under the carpet. And if you don't deal with the strategic level, the tactical matters will continue to be, it's like taking one step forward and 10 steps backwards. So am I assured of justice in Nigeria? I have no confidence in justice in Nigeria. It's simply, just like millions of Nigerians. If you don't know the Inspector General of Police, you have no assurance of your security. Look at the number of people who have been killed in Benue. Look at in the north. Look at on Sunday morning in somewhere in the southwest. So insecurity, we have to deal with the strategic matters.
All right, Honorable,
thank
you. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we're going to see the extent to which the bill is implemented, because it's one thing to pass it into law and it's another to see an immediate implementation of the bill. So thank you for joining us.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so very much. And you guys are doing a great job.